The book's opening action sequence features the Hardy Boys dodging villains on snowmobiles in order to save James Bond, who is stuck in a tree. Bond says the experience of being saved by American teenagers has left him shaken, not stirred.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
The Hardys go to school where everyone's talking about Madhouse, the hot reality TV show. Brian Conrad is there. Brian Conrad is always there. Brian signs up to be a contestant on the show. The Hardys go home, say hello to their disturbingly attractive mother and aunt, and get their next secret mission. It seems that Madhouse has a history of injuring contestants. The Hardys have to go undercover as a contestant and a production assistant to figure out what's going on. In the next chapter, we meet all the contestants as well as the graphic novel's main problem. Take a look at Nicole. Now look at Belinda. Back to Nicole. Now back to Belinda. Here's Nicole later in the book. Here's Amy the hot girl. Here's Mrs. Hardy. They all pretty much look the same. It doesn't help that the girls change their hairdos every so often. So yeah, it's hard to keep track of all the characters in a 15-plus character book. Who knew? The next 5 chapters are mostly an extended action sequence with an occasional break in the action so Frank and Joe can recap their suspect list. Sometimes Nicole, the line producer, argues with Malcolm, the producer. At one point, the director wanders in and talks about beating up an agent, but no one notices and the book doesn't follow up on it. That's the only time the director appears in person. It deserves an award. A shadowy figure appears during the archery contest and tries to shoot Brian in the back. Frank uses the surfer dude's surfboard as a shield in order to save Brian's life. Brian, of course, is totally ungrateful. The barn catches fire and some people are trapped inside. Joe helps them escape through a pig trough while Frank opens a water tower to put out the fire. Then a runaway tractor gets loose. Joe saves the people that are trapped in a cart attached to the tractor. This is an open cart. I have no idea why the people are trapped. They should be able to jump out no problem. Anyway, Joe saves them. Meanwhile, Frank goes into the house and saves Belinda, who's busy making out with some random dude. Frank lets this pass without comment, even though Belinda is his official love interest in the series. Continuity! Malcolm, the producer, decides to cancel the show before anyone else gets hurt. Next thing you know, he's been murdered. There was poison in his coffee. The Hardys suspect Brian, so they follow him to the house's basement. In one of the weirder parts of the book, the basement is part of a 300-year-old underground sewer system that spans the entire city. Because, that's something you see in every farmhouse, right? Brian snuck down here so he could smoke some cigarettes. The Hardys explore and find a huge stash of gold bars. Nicole reveals herself as the culprit at this point. She says the TV show is a cover for a gold heist. The plan involves staging an accident while filming the TV show because, to make the book more exciting, I guess. Nicole doesn't explain why she thought it was necessary to kill a random teenager in order to rob a bank. Thankfully, Nicole doesn't kill the Hardys. Even though she has a gun, she's committed murder before, and killing teenagers is part of her plan. The water in the sewers starts rising. The surfer dude from earlier surfs in on a wave and knocks Nicole unconscious with his surfboard. He explains he's secretly an ATAC agent, and he was sent here to help the Hardys. He didn't tell them about it, or help them out during the earlier action sequences because, yeah, I've got nothing. I have no idea why he did that. Maybe he just doesn't like helping other people unless it involves surfing. The TV show is canceled, and we finish with the Hardys letting all the other contestants stay at their house for a week. The end. Post-book follow-up. You might remember the suspect turns out to be an ATAC member plot twist from the first Undercover Brothers book, also the second one. Seeing this plot twist another time doesn't make it any less stupid. The only reason ATAC and the agent keep their involvement a secret from the Hardy Boys is that it makes for a neat surprise at the end of the book. Other than that, there's no good reason to compromise the mission's success like that, and it really speaks poorly of the Hardy Boys that ATAC routinely assigns undercover operatives to make sure the Hardys don't screw up. I can't help but feel that this story should have been written out instead of turned into a graphic novel. It'd be easier to keep track of all the characters in text format, and since the books are longer than the graphic novels, we'd have more opportunity to know the characters. Most of them only talk once after the introduction scene. That's a waste. I definitely wanted to see more from the contestants. The author went through the trouble of giving them all distinct personalities, but they never do anything. Also, all the reality show challenges took place off screen. That's something which would have been nice to see, along with a better explanation for why the culprit wanted to kill someone as part of an unrelated gold heist. That's my overall feeling about the book. It's a good premise, but it would have been better if it was written out, because then there'd be time for things like characters and plot. Instead, the book mostly glosses over that stuff in favor of exciting action sequences. That's something the graphic novels have consistently done well, exciting action sequences, so good for that, but it doesn't make up for the book's flaws and wasted potential. I give Hardy Boys Undercover Brothers number 3, Madhouse, a 4 out of 10.